Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakha Kodash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of GMS on the Job, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. This is the brother Yashamai coming back at you with another video. As you may know, I am at work on a plantation, physically working for Esau. But while I am physically working for Esau, I am also doing the spiritual work by providing. I am doing the spiritual work for the Heavenly Father Yahweh and the spiritual work for the Heavenly Father's Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, by providing spiritual lessons, spiritual guidance unto edification, in hopes of providing a decent meal that the Lord's elect may be filled. Now, in this video, I wanted to talk about how they will never see Jacob's trouble coming. And the reason why I say that, one of the scriptures that makes me say that is books like 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, where it says, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1, but if the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. Why? Verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. So, when the Lord comes back like a thief in the night, right, we know that he is going to visit the world inevitably. He's going to physically manifest himself when he cracked through them skies and he appears in what the world calls a UFO. But we also know that according to the book of 2nd Esdras, you know, the 9th chapter, and I believe the 2nd, or it could be the 3rd verse, it says, then shall it be the very same time wherein the Most High will begin to visit the world which he made. So we know that when the Lord visits the earth, it's going to be when people least expect it. And the they who's never going to see Jacob's trouble coming are those who are not expecting it. People who follow congregations like IUIC, HOD, HOR, GOCC, FOPI, Sakari, you know, HOJ, House of Jacob. Okay? You got all these ISUPK, you have all these various false Israelite groups out there. They're not really pushing Jacob's trouble. So according to Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. You see, when the Lord wakes you up to this truth, that means he's made you as a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. So if the Lord set you up to be a watchman, you're supposed to be giving our people warning. Warning of what? The dangers that are happening, the spiritual wickedness, the evil that the wicked, the so-called elites, are bringing upon the earth via their draconian laws, okay, their democracy, these different train derailments, these various chemicals that spring in the air, you know, the VACCINE. We're supposed to tell our people about these things. But they're not doing it. They're telling our people burger and fringes. You gotta prosper. You know, they're teaching, keep the commandments, which keeping the commandments is a part of the works, but we're not going to be saved on keeping the commandments. Like it tells you in the book of Galatians, no man is justified by the law, because if we were justified by the law, we will all be condemned. Because like it tells you in the Holy Scriptures, we have all sinned. And if any man say he have not sinned, he is a liar. Okay? Because before we all woke up to the truth, we were all guilty of sin, right? So, even after we woke up to the truth, we still sin, okay? But not willfully, we still sin, but not willfully, okay? Because there's sins that we commit that's out of our control. Like, for an example, you might have to go to work, right? So what happens if it's the Sabbath based on the new moon? And Esau might call you in that day. Hey, yo, I need you to come in, such and such, called off. Then what? You're the only one that's available, right? It might be your off day, but guess what? He said if you don't come in, then he might take off hours. Because some bosses are assholes like that. They're literally threatening to take away your hours if you don't show up. Well, okay, if you don't, okay, they might say okay, they might seem cool with it when they hang up on the phone, but then you go to work and you find out that you got 3 days taken off that following week. So now you only got 2 days to work that week and your paycheck is shit. So what? You go to work. The scriptures say that if a man committeth adultery, he shall surely be put to death. Okay? What does it say in the book of James, the 4th chapter? Ye adulterers and ye adulteresses. This is a world full of adultery. Yahushua even said that. Okay? An adulterous generation seeketh a sign. This is that adulterous generation. Both spiritually adulterous and literally physically adulterous. Spiritually adulterous because our people are joined unto the customs of these other nations. Okay? They are joined into the customs and the false gods of these other nations. So, we're not going to be justified by keeping the law. Okay? Now the scriptures say that the elect shall be saved by faith. Okay, the scriptures tell you that the elect shall be saved by faith. Okay, in 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, it tells you that everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land, for I have sanctified them from me from the beginning. Okay, so the elect is going to be justified by faith. They're not going to be justified by the law. But again, in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, it says, Son of man, I made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So our people are likened unto watchmen of the house of Israel, you see. When I say our people, I speak of the Israelites, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. So if the Lord woke you up to this truth, that means he made you a watchman. And if you're not warning our people, like the Lord said in Ezekiel 3, verse 18, when I say unto the wicked amongst our people, the Israelites, okay, the wicked, the so-called Negro, the wicked amongst the Israelites which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, right? When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor warn the wicked to turn from his wicked way, the very same soul shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Okay, so if you're not out there giving our people warning, if you're not telling your congregation what's going on, what the devil is about to bring, what Esau, Edom, the devil, okay, the so-called elites, what they're about to bring, then that's blood on your hands. And the Lord will and he can hold you accountable to that. So a lot of our people, they're not going to see Jacob's trouble coming because a lot of them are not expecting it. You know, as a matter of fact, the average Joe, okay, the average Joe, when he wakes up is, you know, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna freshen up, then, you know, I'm gonna go hit the basketball court, I'm gonna shoot a couple of hoops, then I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna play Madden 2023, and then afterwards, I'm gonna go chill with my boys, we're gonna go to the club, we're gonna get some hoes, we're gonna get lit, smoke some weed, we're gonna get high, and we're gonna party all damn night, knowing not that that very same night could be the night that Jacob's trouble comes. Because Jacob's trouble, whether people believe it or not, is going to come like a thief in the night. And while you false prophets and you false teachers, especially those amongst these false Hebrew Israelite groups, while you're busy playing around, deceiving your congregation, keeping them in the dark for filthy lucre's sake, Jacob's trouble is approaching and you don't even see it. So guess what? When Jacob's trouble comes, your ass is in trouble. Because then around that time, it's going to be like, oh shit, it's gotten real. But you ain't going to see it coming. Because suddenly, there's going to be martial law. There's going to be some kind of major event that's going to lead to martial law. It's going to lead to food shortages. It's going to lead to stores shutting down. It's going to lead to people, you know, looking for answers. And a lot of people, you know, they're going to end up leaving your congregation because they're going to realize that they have been misled and deceived by you people. So they're going to end up leaving your congregation. Okay? And so some of you false prophets will probably get put to death by the same people in your congregation of whom you're teaching. Because they realize they've been misled because of your greed for money. So Jacob's trouble is going to come upon all you false prophets and you false teachers out there unawares. You're never going to see it coming because you're not looking for Jacob's trouble. You're looking for that next bag. You're looking for the next tax exempt money so you can feed your own belly. So you can serve your own joy, your own lust, your own pleasure, and you're going to be visited for that. The Lord is going to visit you for that, okay? The Lord is not a man that he shall lie. Numbers 23, verse 19. God is not a man that he shall lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Okay? Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. And ye have not visited them. Therefore I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord. So don't you know it's an evil thing to deceive your congregation for the sake of making money off of them? That's an evil thing you're doing, man. And the Lord can judge you for it. Okay, Isaiah chapter 58, verse 11. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which could never have enough, and they are all shepherds that look to their own gain. Okay, just roughly paraphrasing. So the scriptures call you false prophets greedy dogs, because for the love of money, you'll willingly keep your congregation in the dark. You'll keep lying to them instead of telling them the truth out of fear of losing people, because the more people you have, the more money you make, You'll keep them in the dark for the sake of making more money instead of telling them the truth. That's why the scriptures call you greedy dogs, okay? That's why in Luke, the 14th chapter, it says, and he that knew his master's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Okay? But he that did such things worthy of stripes shall receive few. So the ones who know better, you're the ones that's really going to get beaten when the Lord returns, man. And when the Lord returns, like it says in 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter, the Lord's going to visit the earth which he made. And what does it mean by he's going to visit the earth which he made? Well, we have some examples of that. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with fire and with earthquake and with tempest. Okay? So what the world calls natural disasters. So the world's going to visit you. He's going to visit you by hitting your ass with earthquakes. The Lord's going to hit you with tornadoes, hurricanes, floods. The Lord, you know, in which people die by these things. Like it tells you in Matthew 24, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay? You know, people is not just sorrowful because an earthquake happened and they lost over $10,000 worth of hardware, software, furniture, jewelry. They might have lost a couple of loved ones, you know. But they're also sorrowful because now their life is going to be hell from there on out. Because now they might have to be a refugee in another country and another city. They might have to go stay with family members that they don't know. Okay? So a lot of things comes from natural disasters, okay? And those are just a few examples, okay? When we read Isaiah chapter 10, verse 5, it says, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation. So who controls the wicked? The Lord does. The book of Psalms, the 17th chapter. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Who's the wicked? Malachi chapter 1, verse 3. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them, who? Call who? Edom, the border of wickedness, and against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Okay, so Edom is the wicked. If they're the border of wickedness, that means that they are the wicked. Okay, so you know, Salak, you know, I was just flowing in the spirit just now. But, you know, ain't no salvation coming to the wicked amongst the Edomites. Now, the 2/3 of our people who are also known as the wicked, right? They are called McCain in John chapter 8, verse 44. Okay, where it says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. And that's our people. They're doing the will of their spiritual father, Esau Edom. You know? And what is the will of Esau Edom? To keep the masses of our people in the dark, to hide them from the truth, to keep the names of Yahweh, Yahushai hidden from them. Why? Because the so-called elites know that there is power in the names of Yahweh, Yahushai. And that if somebody amongst our nation hear those names, Yahweh, Yahushai, they have the potential to be awakened. and for the truth to be revealed to them. And that scares the so-called elites. So what have the so-called elites did? They have hired certain people amongst our nation to be sellouts and to basically to lie to our people and to keep them in the dark in exchange for being tax exempt and for receiving other governmental benefits, which will make life easier for them in this society, not knowing that the scriptures speak about uncertain riches. You see that? So that's why in the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10, it says, never trust thine enemy. Why? For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Never trust thine enemy. Who's our enemy on the planet? Of course, the other nations, the Arabs, the East Indians, the Africans, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Hawaiians, Samoans. But the Edomites, so-called white people, they are the main enemies to the Israelites on the planet. And Sirach 12 and 10 says what? Never trust thine enemy. So if you put your trust in Esau just to get the bag, you're a fool. Okay, you know why you're a fool? Because inevitably the serpent is going to bite you in the back. You don't think the serpent bit Eve in the back? He literally told her ass to her face, ye shall not surely die. What happened? She learned of the knowledge of good and evil, and what happened? She perished. That was her getting bitten in the back by the serpent. The serpent administered the poison unto her via that bite, via that poisonous bite, which is that lie. And guess what? That poison eventually led to her death. That lie, that poison led to her death. See, that's a video right there. Okay, the serpent's poison is dangerous, man. You see, the devil told you, you know, if you keep these people in the dark, if you lie to them, if you say this, if you teach that, I will give you a 501c3 charter. But inevitably, you know how the serpent is going to bite you in the back? He's going to bite you in the back because eventually he's going to do away with this paper cash. And guess what? All the money that you may have stored away may become digital. And if it becomes digital, we know what that means. More than likely, your money is going to be on a CHIP. So then you're going to have to make a tough decision. Are you going to take the CHIP in order to continue to get those benefits, in order to continue to live that comfortable life? Or are you going to free yourself from the devil's chains? Or are you going to free yourself, which you can't free yourself from shit? Only the Lord can free you, okay? Like it says, as it is written, ye shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. Who's the truth? Yahawashi is the truth. Yahawashi is the only one who can make you free. But you see, you guys, you fanned your hand at the truth. So, you know, you're going to have to make a tough decision. When the CHIP becomes mandatory, you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to take the MOTB, the market of you know what, in order to continue living that comfortable lifestyle, in order to continue to get those benefits from the government? Or are you going to become humble, lowly? Are you going to break away from the devil, repent, and actually teach the truth? Because the CHIP is coming, and it's going to be mandatory. Okay, but like I said, they're not going to see Jacob's trouble coming. When the Lord visits the earth, he's going to visit the earth through martial law, which we know to be the wicked, predominantly the wicked, Esau, Edom, right? Which I explained earlier, that the sword of the Lord deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword, right? Okay, the Lord's going to visit the earth through storms, earthquakes, fires, okay? Floods, so-called natural disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes, typhoons, okay? Sirach, the 49th chapter, okay? Spirits created for vengeance, such as animals. Okay, did not the Lord say that I shall reserve them for the teeth of wild beasts? What's an example of wild beasts? Tigers, lions, bears, cougars, jaguars, okay, panthers, hyenas. These kinds of vicious animals are going to be roaming the streets of America in the last days. You know why? Because the Lord is going to allow these different zoos to open, and all these wild creatures, which have been kept up in these zoos for a long time, are going to be roaming the streets, and they're going to be eating people. And guess who's going to be controlling those animals? The Lord is, okay? When you read the book of 2 Kings, right? I believe it's the 3rd chapter. Who was commanding the ravens to bring Elijah of flesh to eat when Elijah was hiding up in the mountains? The Lord was. The Lord was commanding those ravens. So guess what? The Lord is going to be commanding these various animals to attack, you know, the wicked amongst our people, as well as these heathens and the Edomites. So when the Lord visits the earth, he's going to visit the earth through Jacob's trouble. And in the midst of Jacob's trouble is going to be what? World War III. And in the midst of World War III, what's going to be happening? Nukes are going to be getting shot off. And the main target of the nuclear war is going to be the United States of America. The United States of America is going to be the main target of this nuclear war. Okay, and the land of Israel is going to be the main target of this nuclear war. And other parts of the world is going to be getting hit with nukes. But the only ones that's going to make it out of those nukes is who? The Lord's elect, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. Okay, the 1/3, the elect, the 1/3, the ones who are chosen to receive salvation from the coming nuclear destruction and from Jacob's trouble. The elect, they're the ones that's going to be delivered from the nuclear destruction. They are going to be getting beamed up in what the world calls UFOs. Okay, that's in the book of Revelation, okay? They shall see the strangeness of his salvation when they shall see the Lord's elect going up into a cloud. Which, what are the clouds? The book of Psalms 104, verse 3. Who maketh the clouds his chamber? Who maketh the clouds his chariots? So we know that the chariots in the Holy Scriptures is talking about what the world calls UFOs. So, again, the 2/3 of our people, as well as the vast majority of the people in the world, they're not going to see Jacob's trouble coming. And Jacob's trouble is mainly going to impact the Israelites, which are you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. It's going to impact mainly all of us. Why? Because the so-called elites, they know that we are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Scriptures, and they're going to be coming down with great wrath because they know that they have but a short time. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. With that, I'm going to say shalom and on to the next one.